Alright, there we go. Hello everyone, welcome to FaZe Dota Circuit Season 8. Regular season match between Costco, Hotdog, and Greifers without borders. I'm new to the FaZe Dota Circuit community. I have not seen these teams before, I'm unfamiliar with the players. So I'm going to try and pull up some statistics here, but in the meantime I'm just going to be going in this blind, looking at the draft, as one would for just like a normal pub draft.
Radiant's turn to pick. Beastmaster.
So starting off bans, we have a Furion ban, Medusa ban, Enigma ban, Magnus ban. Fury and Medusa, pretty typical for this patch, very strong heroes right now. Enigma Magnus kind of tells me that Greifers Without Borders has a player on their team that plays those heroes. It's kind of a playmaker. Although the heroes are very good by themselves, especially in like 5v5 situations, those two heroes can like completely change the makeup of a fight. And on the opposite side, you have Ancient Apparition Silencer, also very common meta bans being picked up by supports. Followed by Troll, which is a little unusual. And Greifers Without Borders picks up Beastmaster first, followed by Jakiro from Costco Hotdog. Let me actually send a link to my Twitch to the Discord. Give me one moment. Alright, I've updated the link, so we're back to the draft, back casting. So further bans, we're going to see Clockwork ban, along with PA and Brewmaster. Clock, sort of a popular support. PA Brewmaster tells me that they're planning on going heroes that get countered by those heroes. Or they could also just be targeted bans, or maybe the players don't want to play against them. But the picks afterwards are going to be Abaddon and Ringmaster. So already Greifers Without Borders has a lot of magic damage coming out from these two supports. I imagine this is the off-lane pairing, Beastmaster 3, Ringmaster 4. The master lane. And yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of control. You can follow up Roar with like a Wheel of Wonder or the Tame the Beasts. Very good save on Ringmaster. Ringmaster in general is just a very nice support right now because he is sort of like a Shadow Demon in that you have quite a bit of options, like tools available to the hero. They're not just a one-trick pony. And that you have saves, poke, mass AoE damage, mass AoE team fight, for relatively low cooldowns. Abaddon gets picked up by Costco Hotdog, which was very strong in the prior patch. He did go through a series of nerfs coming into this patch. Still a strong hero, but not as dominant as he once was. Abaddon is very good at winning lanes, and these two heroes right here, Jakiro and Abaddon, tell me that Costco Hotdog is looking to draft a team focused around pushing, because Jakiro with the Liquid Fire can push towers very effectively. Abaddon can right-click towers with his E to push them more effectively. Abaddon just has a lot of sustain in general. He helps you win the lane, and then you can transition that into pushing towers early on. So very hard pushing supports coming out from Costco Hotdog. This could be flexed as core Abaddon as well, so you have that option available too. Jakiro generally likes to have setup stuns for his Ice Path, and to try and keep people locked into his macro pyre. So Abaddon doesn't really fulfill that, so to really unlock the full potential of this Jakiro, I'd want to see maybe like carries with stuns, like a Sven or a CK, or maybe like a mid with an AoE stun, like a Storm Spirit, something of that nature, to really try and emphasize the damage that Jakiro can bring to the table, because Abaddon by himself does not add that much damage.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Greifers without borders
Admiral
picks up the
Hotdog.
Warlock, more team fight, so 3 team fight heroes. I imagine that's the 5. And with Warlock, you generally want to see like good AoE to try and combo with his Fatal Bonds, and Ringmaster does provide that. And Beastmaster as well once he gets Ags. Warlock as well is a great counter-initiating support. So if you're facing a team that has like heavy push or heroes that just run into you and you can't deal with them, Warlock's very good at dealing with that because he just drops the rock, drops the Fatal Bounds, and does a ton of AoE damage. Costco Hotdog picks up the Kunkka, which that's very good setup for the Jakiro. Gives you good teamfight AoE. Very disruptive in fights, provides tankiness for the team. So Abaddon plus Kunkka is going to make that team very tanky. Followed up by the Templar Assassin, who is a tanky hero as well. Provides a bit of crowd control with her shard, giving her silence on the traps. And the silence is going to be pretty good this game to try and deal with like the Warlock soup. Also, if you're trying to like chase down these heroes, the traps can really help deal with that. Because right now, they really just have Kunkka to try and chase down heroes with X. Abaddon and Jakiro don't really do that. So TA provides them a little bit of chase, and it's a good hero to do a lot of bursts. And the Kunkka really lets her sit in fights and be able to deal lots of damage with the run buffs. And the Abaddon as well, providing shields for the TA, just gives her a lot of sustainability in fights. That's countered by the Bristleback. Bristleback's pretty good against heroes like carries like TA who rely on massive physical damage because you can build a lot of armor on the Bristleback if you have no sources of break.
5 seconds.
His passive is going to do a lot of damage reduction. And Bristle in general is pretty good against like ranged right clickers because it's a lot harder for a ranged character, like say a sniper, to get in front of the Bristleback and do a lot of damage to him. So far, Costco Hotdog, they have like lane-winning push heroes.
10 seconds.
So I think their formula this game is try to win lanes, then congregate and like push tier 1s down one by one. Make a little bit of space for the TA, and then once the TA gets like Desolator and stuff like that, really start hard pushing. So they are going to focus on winning their lanes pretty hard. On the other side of Greifers without borders, you have Beastmaster, who's going to likely want to delay and get Ags, so his supports are probably going to try and help him get that Ags. The 6s are very important on Greifers without borders heroes. Ringmaster and Warlock get way stronger with their 6s. Jakiro, Abaddon, they're not so reliant on that level timing. So I'm seeing that Greifers wants to try and play a little bit more passively. And get items on their heroes. So Costco Hotdog, tempo team, Greifers without borders, kind of a delay team. Last bans, we have Morphling Terrorblade getting banned out by Costco Hotdog, so they're likely expecting this to be a mid Bristleback. That'd be an unusual place for the Bristleback. It's not unheard of though. And Huskar Ember getting banned by Greifers without borders, so they're likely expecting to see the mid. So this could be like an off-lane Kunkka. Those would be some unusual placements for these heroes. Like Kunkka can be flexed as a support, but he's usually played mid, sometimes off-lane. And Templar these days is usually played as the 1, but sometimes mid. So I guess there is a bit of, what's the word? Flexibility in Costco Hotdog's lineup. If you're Greifers without borders, I feel like you want to win some or pick something that kind of blunts the tempo of Costco Hotdog. Try to give you a bit of space. Like a classic example would be like a sniper to like try and defend high ground pushes, for example. You just have like that extreme range, and it's really hard to deal with them if you don't have any jumping heroes. A ranged carry would fit pretty nicely into this draft with the Beastmaster and Bristleback providing that front line if this is a core bristleback. So like I could see like a Drow, Luna, Sniper, something like that. They go with Gyrocopter, so similar vein. Gyro's a little bit more frontline than your Sniper or Drow, but that is a ranged character to try and take advantage of the Beast and Bristle starting fights, being your frontline, taking the attention away from you while you work with the flat cannon. Gyro has options to get rid of the Templars' refraction charges with the rocket barrage. So I imagine that was probably a consideration with picking this Gyrocopter to try and like help or have a carry that can by itself get through the reaction charges, whatever it's called, TSQ. Costco Hotdog, now looking at this team, I feel like they have a slight damage problem until the Templar gets online. And TA, I feel, does pretty well versus Gyro Bristle. Kunkka can pick up a Silver Edge for the Bristle. If you want to go like all in on the early game, I could see like a Viper. They go with the Tinker. So I'm not sure what roles the players play. So I'm not sure if this is a mid Tinker or a support Tinker. But Tinker can... Well, Tinker just sits in a lane, gets 6, and just starts being a menace all over the map. And so I actually do like this Tinker pick. It gives them ways to deal with Greifers Without Borders early, which is when they want to be fighting on Costco Hotdog with the blinds. And the marches, just creating a zone of no contest. Anyway, that's your draft. Looking at skins, Greifers Without Borders is pretty sparse. I mean, Ringmaster, Beastmaster, looking very plain. Gyrocopter, a bit of a subdued look. Warlock, also very subdued. Way more glamour on Costco Hotdog, although the Abaddon is skinless as well. Hard to say which team wins the skin game. Really liking that Jakiro set and that Kunkka set. In terms of who I think overall wins the draft, I think that Costco Hotdog, if they're able to gain an early game advantage, they're very able to punish the item timings on Greifers. And I need to get a command here quickly, one moment. To get the fancy camera for you. There we go. Alright, so starting off the game, Dire's going to be smoking up, running to the mid lane, likely to place a ward. They're going to hang out by their tower for the time being. Meanwhile, Radiant not smoking up, they're going to be splitting off. 3 heroes going top, 2 bottom. And Dire's going to be invading across. I think that Watcher may have been taken, I didn't see. But TA Abaddon kind of feeling like something's in the area. They're going to be retreating back. Dire puts the ward down, doesn't scout anybody out. And Abaddon, if he's not careful, is going to walk into this ward. He's just outside. Yeah, I think he just walked in. Yeah, so they know he's here. It's a little bit harder of a pick to get because of the 325 base movement. And Bristle's just going to scare him off a bit. No action before minute 0 to 2 bounty runes. And yeah, let's start off with the player introductions. Starting off bot lane on the Radiant, we have Vindicator on the position 1 Templar Assassin being supported by Zendron on the Abaddon. They're going to be facing off against a core Bristleback played by Chakni, supported by Invisible Man 27 on the Ringmaster. Just watching this real quick. Abaddon's going to get a little bit punished for his positioning here. In the mid lane, it's going to be Puff on the Kunkka versus Jeef on the Beastmaster. And top lane, we have a core Tinker 3, played by Lovely, supported by Yuvet Crusader on the Jakiro. They're going to be facing off against Cleaner Main on the position 1 Gyrocopter, supported by Barn on the Warlock. Looking at lanes, bottom lane, Ringmaster Bristle would be very scary, but Abaddon with his shield is able to purge off a lot of the dangerous stuff from Bristleback Ringmaster, able to get off that, or purge off Impalement Arts and the goo. Mid lane, Kunkka generally wins lanes. I don't see mid Beastmasters too often, so I'm not too sure how this matchup goes, but generally you need regen to deal with the Kunkka, or at least ways to dodge the W, as Bristle's getting very low. Abaddon doesn't have the shield or instantly pop. They're going to find a Bristleback. First blood going to Vindicator. And Abaddon kind of baited the Bristle into a bad position there. As I was saying, it's a little bit difficult to play against the Kunkka unless you have ways to dodge the Tidebringer, because Kunkka's just max level their W and just do so much free harassment on you that it's very difficult to play against, especially as a melee hero. Top lane, Tinker 3 supported by Jakiro can do a lot of damage. It's pretty difficult to fight into the Tinker with the laser, although Gyro's going to be doing so now. He's going to be running at him with the Rocket Barrage. Jakiro pulled the creep, so he's going to have to run away. Gyrocopter meanwhile goes back to tower to farm. The top lane, I don't imagine there's going to be too many kills, because it's hard to go into the Tinker, but Tinker Jakiro I feel doesn't really have that much damage. The Gyro can always turn around with Rocket Barrage and deal with Tinker that way. Looking at lanes, the thing I noticed the most is that Bristle is suffering a little bit as he's getting pretty low by this TA Abaddon combo. Both TA and Abaddon have sticks to deal with all this spell harassment, so they're going to have a lot of sustain in this lane. Whereas Bristleback does not have a stick, so kind of a losing battle in terms of sustain in this lane. And so yeah, two Radiant heroes are topping the last hits right now. Bristle and Gyro both are pretty low CS comparatively. As Kunkka's going to be in a kind of a bad position here. He's getting hit by the board, getting slowed. He's able to run away though. Tinker actually getting very low top. Looks like maybe the receiver of a Rocket Barrage or something like that. As Bristle's going to get very low, getting Meld Striked in the back. Does not have the passive just yet, so Meld is going to be doing its full damage. Yeah, imagine until the Bristleback gets a couple levels into his passive, he's not going to be able to sustain against these right-click side blades, because a Bracer just does not give that much sustain into TA Abaddon. Abaddon kind of feeling the advantage is going to start harassing these heroes away from creeps, and so Bristle is having a real tough time down here. Top lane, Flack is doing quite a bit of work in doing these heroes. Jakiro may have gone a little out of position. Gyrocopter turns with the Rocket Barrage, actually catches the Jakiro. Gyrocopter's taking a lot of damage though from the Blood Grenade. He's going to have to back off, not get this final kill on this Tinker here. So the only Dire hero doing very well right now is Bristleback's actually getting a little bit out of position. They're going to start running him down. One more right click from the TA. Vindicator will pick up that kill. And yeah, kind of a losing lane so far here for Dire in the off lane. And safe lane's not going that much better. Gyro only 16 CS at 5 minutes. Not able to get a ton of space between the Jakiro and the Tinker. Just a lot of magic damage coming out. Jakiro's harassing you, Tinker's harassing you. Mid lane, we have a go on the Beastmaster. Kunkka's going to X him up, combo him with the boat. Beastmaster's gonna walk away. And so a failed ghost ship combo forces the Beastmaster out of lane, but doesn't get the kill.
Dire should look to their middle tower.
We have a rotation by Ringmaster going for the rune. Kunkka's gonna meet him, has the X. Rune does not spawn. Kunkka not feeling like he has enough mana to get that kill. As now 3 Radiant Cores are all surpassing their Dire counterparts in terms of CS. And this is exactly the kind of start that Costco Hotdog wanted to have with these very high tempo heroes. Ringmaster now forcing to escape back to get out away from the side blades of this TA. Not able to do a lot in this lane. Full support's very low on the side of Dire. Bristle did eventually pick up the stick, looks like, so that's going to give him a bit of sustain against these meld strikes. We might have a fight down here in the Wisdom Room, but no. Looks like Kunkka's actually going to scout out this. Looks like a triple stack. This is a very big loss for them. Bristle kind of needed that stack to recover a little bit in the lane. But Kunkka is going to be taking it, and there's going to be no punish for this. As Tinker got a little bit low top, but just retreated away from the Warlock there. Oh, Kunkka's gonna make a rotation bottom, go on the Bristle back. Gonna be giving a lot of people escape back. It's gonna keep them alive for just a moment longer, but the Tidebringer is gonna bring them down. Between the TA and the Kunkka, you just have 2 abilities that do so much physical burst. It's just gonna be hard to deal with that until you get some items. I'm not getting pretty low here. What is he? Oh, he's getting realm pound over.
You were doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
Any stacks for the Gyrocopter? Looks like there's 1 small camp stack for him. Beastmaster is almost given up entirely on the lane as he goes to the jungle to start working on his ads. And Gyro Warlock getting a little bit hemmed in top, as TA basically had free farm. They're going to drop spells on the Warlock. He's a pretty high HP hero though, so he's just going to walk it off, but he's pretty low now. Next combo might bring him down. So recovery plan for Dire here. Like I mentioned in the draft, they're very reliant on item timings. Like Gyro wants to get a specific set of items to really accelerate his farm, such as like Falcon Blade, Crit Stick, Aghanims. And then he wants to do that before he starts fighting, because just Rocket Barrage and Flak doesn't really do that much super early on. Beastmaster really wants that Axe before he starts fighting, because his just farm explodes with that. And Bristleback is likely not going to have a good game this time, or this game, because just solo CS in lane. He's definitely going to need some items and some levels before he can contribute to anything. He's just going to get bursted down by Templar and Kunkka. They do have a lot of magic potential between like the Ringmaster, the Warlock, and the Gyrocopter, so if it ever does come to a 5v5, they do have the damage, free items that they need to kill some heroes. But Radiant are more than happy to just keep laning right now and just keep harassing and pressuring these Dire heroes. Swap over to net worth, you can see that 4K net worth advantage total on the side of Costco Hotdog, with TA and Kunkka kind of pulling away from the Beastmaster, as TA has had absolute free farm in this lane. I imagine that at some point, Radiant are going to start clumping up and taking towers. Looks like Jakira has rotated mid. Kunkka's going to do a bit of damage on the Beastmaster, but no follow-up. He has that double damage, or amplify damage, doing a ton of damage with the Tidebringer, but not able to secure the kill. Warlock transitions over, has the Chaotic Offering, should they choose to use it to defend this tower, but it's so low HP right now, and with the amplified damage, it's just very difficult to push there. Bristleback getting pretty low to the T8 bottom as well. And yeah, that will be first tier 1 to fall, and Radiant are going to transition over and take over the triangle. They're going to find a Warlock, X up, followed by the Torrent. Jakiro Dubreath is going to slow him down. He will drop the Rock. Warlock goes down. Bristle's over here now. Jakiro getting very low. He's going to fall. Kunkka dropping the boat right on top of him. That's going to find 2 heroes. Bring down the Beastmaster. Bristleback now very low, running away from very high resources, Kunkka and Abaddon. He's going to get X'd up. And yep, one more Tidebringer will secure that kill. Ringmaster doing what he can with just a level 2 Impale Arts, but it's not going to be much. As TA now takes over the triangle, starts farming up Ancients. This is a very efficient farming pattern, going from the creeps to the Ancients and back for her. So if you're Dire, you really don't want her to be hanging out in this area. You want to be applying pressure, preventing her from being able to do this. It looks like she's going to be backing up though, with Dire's heroes are spawning. Gyro's been happily farming top. Has that Falcon Blade. Generally you see Crit Stick, which for the life of me I can't remember what it's called. Chrysalis, yeah. Usually you see Chrysalis followed by like an Aghanims on Gyrocopter, and then you start hard farming with that, and you can fight with those items. You kind of want to see BKB first on Gyro before you start rotating. We have a pause here. It looks like the Kunkka crashed. And yeah, we have our Dire hotkeys. There we go. So it looks like, yeah, Dire can see Kunkka and Jakiro, so they know that Radiant are likely top. Radiant, meanwhile, seeing just a Beastmaster and a Bristleback, so probably feeling pretty confident about pushing this tower. Item-wise, TA has the Dragonlance, Treads, Going Desolator, Kunkka, Tranquil Boots, Blade Mill. I'm not sure what item you go for after that. Could be like a Blink Dagger or Crit Stick, depending on what you want in lane. He's kind of a primary damage dealer, so I would expect to see damage items on the Kunkka. Beastmaster is still quite a ways off from the Zags. Really needs like a one-team fight, get a couple of kills to get that in any reasonable amount of time, because right now it's going to be probably around like an 18 or 19 minute Ags, just farming it up. And Bristleback working towards the Heaven's Halberd. That's a very cheap way to still be effective. The Vanguard helps you a lot with tankiness if you have no items, and the Halberd's just going to give you some kind of way to deal with the TA and lane, kind of contribute to fights without just exploding instantly. It's only 2,700 gold these days, so very affordable. And I will mute myself and just kind of look around while we, Kunkka's back. Alright, we're back. Radiant have rotated top, looking to take their next tier 1 objective. Gyro is farming nearby, but he is too low resources to really contribute to a fight. So unless Dire all came up here to defend this, there's no saving this tower. Dire just going to take the opportunity to farm up with this space granted by this tower push.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant should look to their bottom tower.
Bottom lane we have Bristleback going on a Tinker, but he's not going to do that much damage with these continual blinds. Taking a ton of damage to March of the Machines. Dire's going to commit a lot of heroes here into the March. Tinker's going to get very low, shielded up by Abaddon though. Bristle's going to explode to the Templar Assassin with that rotation over. Kunkka now is going to find the Ringmaster, one of the two supports running away, and the Ringmaster's going to get popped by the TA. Unable to find that Tinker. Jakiro meanwhile just solo pushing top, doing a bit of damage to the creeps. As Radiant feel like they are spiraling into a position which makes the game uncoverable. Kunkka picked up the drums. Do like this pickup, gives the team a bit more AoE damage because they do plan on fighting early. They've been doing that for quite a bit. Going Tranks, so I imagine that's going to be your early... oh, I forget the name of the upgraded drums. But Kunkka's going to rotate over, find Bristleback, do a bit of poke damage to him. Nothing too serious though, as the goo slows down these heroes quite a bit. Wisdom did spawn. It looks like Radiant will be picking off Dire's Wisdom. So let me find out what Boots of Bearing. There you go. So I might see an early Boots of Bearing pickup, which will definitely help with the goo. One benefit of playing against Tinker is that Tinker's going to be constantly forcing in lanes, and so you will always have creeps to hit in lane. The problem is it reduces your map vision dramatically. So Dire are going to feel very hemmed in with all these lanes constantly pushing in. TA now almost double the net worth of her Dire counterpart in Gyro. Just absolute free for game. Tons of money on this TA. Has picked up Desolator. 4 charges on it already. Now very close to a Blink Dagger. I imagine with that Blink that Radiant are going to start hard pushing. No real smoke plays coming out from either team. Dire content to just pass the farm as long as Radiant allows them to and try and wait for a defensive fight. As I didn't even notice, but Radiant did take the Tormentor. It does go on the Jakiro. Not the greatest shard pickup, gives them a little bit additional damage in fights. This is more a shard that you pick up when you're poor. And you're doing a lot of right clicking. As I'm surprised to see Radiant not just immediately grouping up and forcing lanes with this massive gold advantage they have. Maybe they just haven't seen the Gyro for a while, they haven't fought him, so they're unaware of how strong he is. The Gyro's just contentedly farming, opting to skip the Ags instead, has BKB queued up. Probably, you know, expecting with this much of an advantage on Radiant that he's going to have to fight very early on, so Ags is, the BKB is going to really help him out with those fights that are coming. So Tinker was the 3D. It looks like he's building sort of standard support items. Got the Holy Locket to help heal with the repair bots, and Blink Dagger to help him around in fights, and rushing Ags now for that Shrink Ray. Not a ton of action here past 10 minutes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jakiro's going to be walking high ground, taking watch, a little bit out of position. He's all alone here. Looks like Beastmaster wants to do something, but no Blink Dagger to catch him. Yeah, Beastmaster did get that axe, got it at 17 minutes-ish. So, the farm will start accelerating on that hero. Top lane, Gyro's going to be seen by Kunkka. Kunkka's trying to get vision for the axe, but Gyro able to skedaddle out of there. As we have a smoke up by Dire, collapsing on the Gyro. Maybe try and find a pick on this Kunkka. It's a little bit dangerous because this tower down here gives Radiant a way to come in, and also the Tinker can TP in like he's doing now. Have a roar out on the Kunkka, followed by the Wheel of Wonder. This is to keep Kunkka stunned for a very long time. He's going to go down as the Warlock drops the rock on Tinker. Tinker just trying to blow up his Gyrocopter. Instead, he's going to blow up the Warlock as he's getting very low. Shields himself. He's going to keep alive for a little bit longer. These Blinding Rays are doing so much damage, but only finding the Warlock so far. But Radiant has come over as Abaddon now taking a ton of spells. Gonna pop that ulti. They're gonna bring down the Bristleback. As this is a very scary TA. Desolator treads Blink Dagger. She wants to fight. She wants to kill. Vindicator now. We're running in, trying to find more, but that's just gonna be it. A 2 for 2, but that is a very good win for Dire there. They pick up around 1,300 gold. Or take back 1,300 gold from that deficit they're facing. And just a little bit slow, some blunt to the offensive of Radiant. But TA now feeling pretty confident. It's going to start pushing down this tier 2. She has the range to just sit outside tower and hit it down with the Desolator, doing a ton of damage that way. Even without the Kunkka nearby, she feels supremely confident to be right-clicking this. But here is our free spawning on Dire, so maybe she should be a little bit more careful. No rock, never pause, never crash on Kunkka. As Radiant see 3 heroes, and Dire see 1 hero. Yeah, someone needs to get this Kunkka a better computer or better internet. This can't be happening in a prestigious league such as PDC. Gyrocopter picked up Morbid Mask, bought the Mithril Hammer, and I imagine he's going to turn that into BKB later, instead going for Satanic. Interesting. BKB is quite a bit cheaper than Satanic, but Satanic is the better teamfight item if you can get away with just right-clicking, if you're allowed to right-click. And so maybe he thinks just BKB doesn't give him enough damage. So we'll see if the Gyrocopter finishes that. On Dire, Beastmaster is too low resources to really come up here. Gyro's running back to base to get resources or just farm. But there will not be support for this tower. Despite Dire's best efforts to scare away Radiant, they will be taking that tier 2 tower. Actually, Bristleback in the deny there, but the tower falls all the same. And Radiant just start running mid to do the same thing again. Hoping to provoke a response from Dire. Kunkka working towards Radiance. Gyro switched back to the BKB. And possibly a Roche attempt. Radiant's gonna invade the triangle first. They're gonna see some Dire heroes. Fight's gonna break out a little bit as the Gossamer Cape actually prevents TA's Meld Strike from connecting with that Warlock there. Very strong neutral item versus the Templar. And they're going to trap the heck out of this triangle here to get a lot of vision as they go into the Roche pit and start working it down. Dire are in the area if they want to go over there, but not making any motions to contest this at this time. Wisdom Shrine's going to be spawning here in a second. Looks like Bristleback's going to be stealing Radiance. No one going for Dire's just yet. Aegis on the ground. No one getting it.
Middle tower is under attack.
Interesting. No one wants it. TA denies her own trap, except the Aegis. Alright. As Tinker's just gonna be shoving this bot lane, no one's showing. Bristleback is farming top lane, trying to cut the wave. Tinker may find him though. Actually, yeah, Tinker looked for the wisdom. It's gonna find it empty. Tinker, the Bristleback sees the March though and is going to run away as X is gonna find the Warlock. He's gonna Glimmer Cape away though, no detection to find him. Trying to get away, has the rock, has to use it now or he's gonna not be able to use it. He will go down. And that's a big team fight ult that Dire's lacking if they want to fight under this tier 2. So formula is pretty simple for Radiant. They are going to go after this last tier 2 tower. And I imagine after that they have the option of doing Torm. I think it was taken at 15 minutes, so they have to wait another 3 minutes for that. But they're likely just going to go high ground off of that. The Templar makes it very difficult to go high ground, or to jump on the team, because she can hit the tower from outside the tower's range. She can just keep trapping up the tower to provide vision and just hitting it. So you have to like commit outside your base if you want to try and stop this tier from hitting the tower. And then Tinker just comes in, drops shields, drops March of the Machines, and it just makes it a very difficult high ground push to contest. TA working towards BKB is a little bit ways off of that, probably 2 or 3 minutes or so. Murloc standing on the side, has the rock, holding it for now. Bristleback with the shard is kind of trying to delay this, but TA is standing on the low ground. She's going to see the Warlock actually and just jump on him, burst him down, no detection for him. Oh, running away with the Gossamer. Gossamer doing so much work there. Escape back, macro power drops on the Abaddon. Not doing a ton of damage here as the Templar is dodging quite a few spells here. Abaddon's ult expires and he's going to go down. Rock to fall. Radiant kind of kiting out a lot of these spells as the TA now turns on the Bristleback, but these Glimmer Capes are so clutch, saving these direct heroes. No one has died so far. Beastmaster now only dying in the back as Kunkka goes forward to find him. But his tier 3 towers is doing a ton of damage to Kira, keeping him at bay, unable to really help his team here. But so far not too bad, as TA did lose the Aegis in that. And she's gonna retreat back to her team. Dire missing 2 heroes. No rock, no roar. Nice torment there is gonna find a Bringmaster and Bristleback. And just look at this March of the Machines doing so much healing, keeping these heroes topped off, the shields as well. It's just such a nightmare to try and fight in this field against the Tinker. Just very heavy push coming out from Radiant. They're going to back up though. I feel like with these ults down, we're just coming up, but with the rock especially down, I feel like Radiant should be hard pushing to try and take advantage of that. Dire's going to be smoking out through the mid lane, and they might find an Abaddon here who does have his ult again. Yep, they're going to start doing spells on him. Pops that ult. TA nearby if she wants to help out, but it looks like she's just retreating. And they're going to find that Abaddon, so a little bit of a pickup. Hi, Dire. Get a little space back on the map. Gyrocopter has finished that BKB, used it in the fight prior. As we might have a fight here now. Dire are trying to take this tier 1 mid. Tinker in the trees, blinding up. Boat comes in. I think just finding the Beastmaster there, but Gyrocopter now BKBing, just running away from the X. As Beastmaster goes down again. In the back, Bristleback getting chased by the Templar. Will go down to Vindicate. This T is now unstoppable. As Warlock now found a Tinker, but doesn't want to hang out near him. Yep, he's going to run on top of a trap that's going to give vision for the Yules. But the Glimmer Cape, once again, is doing a ton. Oh, Gyro, no BKB. gets X'd, brought up by the Kunkka. He's trying to run away, gets the escape act, but TA and Abaddon are in the side. They're just gonna blow up that Ringmaster, followed by the Gyrocopter. And looks like the game might be breaking open here as Templar starts working on the mid tower this time. Just so much sustain coming out from the Abaddon and the Tinker. Yeah, they can just push all day long, basically. Kunkka is split pushing top. Bristleback's going to TP up there to try and chase him away as TA takes the mid tower. Starts working on this melee Rax. And very difficult for Dire to do anything here. The heroes are respawning. Gyro in 5 seconds. Radiant's gonna back up. Look at this March of the Machines. Just so impossible to walk into this. And yeah, they're gonna leave that range Rax as they go bottom and take the tier 3 bear. Start punching the melee Rax. And Dire has to do something here. They have all their spells. Gyro has BKB. You gotta start the fight somehow, but who do you go on? Who do you reward? What's the target? Like, ideal fight is you get them all pumped up and you drop the rock and hit all of them, but this is a good spot right here if they're able to find something. Yeah, Roar is gonna find a Tinker, but Tinker's just gonna walk away as the rock comes down onto the Templar Assassin. She's just gonna BKB up and right click this Gyro down. He's gonna explode. Warlock follows. Actually, Gyros did stay alive in that. Not sure if he dodged or what, it wasn't enough damage, but yeah, TA just blinking around the fight, finds the Bristleback next, gonna bring him down. Warlock buys back. As TA just has not really felt in danger at all this game. GG well played is the call by the Bristleback. So game 1 will be going to Costco Hotdog. 25,000 bullet advantage at 28 minutes. Very well drafted, very well playing their draft. And a very decisive victory. That was game 1. I believe this is a best of 2. So stick around and we'll be back shortly for that. Testing. Hello everyone, welcome back to Phased Over Circuit Season 8 Game 2 between Costco Hotdog and Greifers Without Borders.
10 seconds.
Last game was a pretty decisive stomp, I'd call it, by Costco Hotdog. They had a very good early game draft, won all their lanes, and just capitalized on the strength of their heroes to basically pressure Dire from all sides, prevent them from doing anything. And I felt like they could have ended the game even earlier than that, but it was just a 29-minute game. Bans coming out from Costco Hotdog, I believe, are identical to last game. Silencer AA get banned once again. We have a TA ban this time. I forget what the prior ban was. But seems like they don't want to deal with that hero. Did not like laning against it. Bristleback did not have a fun time that game. So they're just going to ban it this time. Jakiro is going to get picked by Greifers Without Borders. Denying that pick from Costco Hotdog. And Costco Hotdog's going to reciprocate with the Beastmaster of their own. So both teams stealing one of the other's draft from last game. And last game, Jakiro had a couple of good moments. Really, like, Jakiro's most impactful impact in that game was just being in lane, being there to help the Tinker basically win the lane, keep the Gyro from doing anything. And then later on, use the Liquid Fire to help push down towers, help support the TA. Just made it impossible to jump on a TA because you can follow it up with an Ice Path Macro Fire. And I think that was largely because they didn't have like great ways to keep heroes locked down in the Macro Pyre. So it'd be interesting to see if Greifers Without Borders tries to build around those Jakiro's damage in Macro Pyre and keep heroes locked in and make it a core component of their team fight. Continuing on to the next phase of bans, we see a Tinker ban. It was very annoying last game, very hard hero to deal with. So we're not going to see that hero again this game, along with the Troll. And I don't think there were any heroes that Costco Hotdog wanted or felt especially bothered by in the last game. They pick up the Beastmaster, so they deny the pick with that. They banned the Underlord. I don't remember seeing Underlord banned in last game.
Seconds remain.
And you generally ban Underlord if you're planning on picking either Zoo heroes or like really tanky heroes, because Underlord's a pretty good percent-based damage hero. They go Snapfire, which is going to give them follow-up damage for the Roar. And Greifers Without Borders are going to instant pick off that Snapfire. No, like not trying to counter at all. They go Ringmaster Sand King. So already a ton of magic damage on the side of Greifers Without Borders. You have very good setup for the Jakiro and Ringmaster with the Sand King. Sand King can basically blink in with Epi Stun, and then you can drop ultimates on top of that with the Ringmaster Jakiro. You can keep heroes locked into the Macro Pyre for quite a long time between the Wheel of Wonder and the Burrow Strike. And all these heroes are very good in lane as well. So I am liking this trio of heroes that Greifers has picked already. Snapfire is not particularly notable. So let me put myself in Do Not Disturb. There we go. Snapfire is not particularly notable as like a default support in this patch. You generally pair it with something that provides a lot of like long duration CC to try and maximize Mortimer's Kisses, or you pick it to counter something that requires like a bunch of right clicks to deal with, like a Phoenix Egg. This could also be core Snapfire. The hero is still universal and can do a lot of damage, but does require a lot of time to really become that carry, because her carry abilities are kind of locked away between her 20 and 25 talents. So you kind of have to build a team that's like really good at delaying the game so she can get that level if you do play her as a carry. They're going to go Witch Doctor. It's likely going to be support, followed up by the Kunkka. So likely a support Snapfire, probably a 4 snap with the Beastmaster. A lot of magic damage in that lane. This is probably a mid Kunkka, so Costco Hotdog's going to get that Kunkka again.
10 seconds.
And once again, providing a lot of area CC, survivability to the team. It's a lane winner. Very hard hero to deal with. Greifers goes with the Monkey King, so maybe they feel like they have an answer to the Kunkka this time. They're going to pick up Monkey. This is likely going to be a mid Monkey, because Monkey is a hero with sustain, and you can just right click the Kunkka and then heal off of the crit, or heal off your Jingu stacks. I believe Monkey wins that lane. No, one moment.
10 seconds remain.
Timer went off. Apologies for that. Yeah, so I imagine this is a mid Monkey, so Greifers maybe feels like they have the answer for the Kunkka this time. And never teamfight hero, combos pretty well with macro Wheel of Wonder, like just lots and lots and lots of stun, lots of magic damage from Greifers here. Bands coming out, lastly, Costco Hotdog bands, Terrorblade, Tiny, expecting to see a 1, and Clinks comes out, so they could flex the Monkey in the Clinks lanes, either 1 or 2. I think the Monkey fares better against Kunkka, so they're probably going to throw the Monkey mid. And PA Morph once again get banned.
10 seconds remain.
So our Greifers are likely to expect to see the 1 picked here. Probably expecting this to be a support Snapfire. And if you're a 1, you're looking at this draft, you see a ton of magic damage and a ton of hard sustain. I'm thinking like Nyax, Jug. They pick Lycan, they go with a Zoo hero. Interesting. So Lycan is able to punish the relative lack of mobility on these supports. He's going to be able to run at heroes. Escape Act's going to be a little bit of a problem. And his summons are a little bit hard to pin down. Like, you have to commit kind of big teamfight resources to kill the summons on Greifers draft. I think Monkey's pretty good against him because he likes fighting heroes in his ring. And Clinks is likely going to have a fun game, I feel, depending on if he wins or loses the lane. Skin game, that is a weird Snapfire skin. I have not seen that one. Kind of like the red aesthetic going on Greifers Outboarder, so I think I'll give them a 0.4 team synergy. But that Snapfire skin, that thing is so ugly looking. I kind of drawn to it. So Vindicator was the 1 last game, and they're picking up Beastmaster, so this might be a 1 Beast, 3 Lycan. Lycan going into Clinks. I think Geef was the mid last game. Lycan tends to have low armor, so Clinks can burst him with enough items. I'm trying to think of like later game, because I'm not sure what the lane matchups are. between the players. So I'll give what I think about the lanes later on, but just making draft predictions right now as I get the fancy cam on for you.
The time for preparation.
I think that it's very scary to fight into Dire's team fight. Just so much team fight magic damage between all these heroes. They are a little bit cooldown dependent. And on the side of Radiant, you have like Death Ward, Boat, Mortimer's Kisses. So both teams definitely have a lot of magic damage. I think that Dire's a little bit easier to execute. Dire will be smoking out, poised to walk high ground where they will find some heroes here. Radiant did not smoke out, they kind of split up. Looks like they're doing a pretty effective dodge at avoiding these heroes. Dire's going to drop a ward, and this Watcher's going to see 2 heroes. So Radiant know what's up. They know that Dire have invaded their jungle, and they're just going to back up. So very similar movements to last game. I believe they're identical, basically. Yeah, Radiant last game did not smoke. They split up. And Dire smoked into the enemy jungle. So yeah, identical to last game. Once again, finding no kills.
With the fate of the universe and the pride of 10 people on the line, this is Dota.
So in terms of lanes, looks like it's going to be Lovely on the 3 Lycan, supported by Spellcheck Greifers on the Snapfire. We're going to be playing off against Cleaner Main on the 1 position Blink, supported by Barn on the Jakiro. Mid lane is going to be Jeef on the Monkey. Let me actually disable Night Mode real quick. Not sure if that picks up or gets picked up on Twitch, but I'll disable that for you. We have Jeef on the mid Monkey going up against Puck on the mid Kunkka. And bottom lane we have Vindicator. Last game was a dominant TA. This game is a Beastmaster in the position 1, supported by Zenderon as the Witch Doctor, facing off against Chakney on the Sand King and Invisible Man 27 on the Ringmaster. Lane wise, I feel like bottom lane is going to be a little bit of bloodbath. Lots of poke on both sides, lots of magic damage, so it could easily see either side just like going into a death fight with each other. Mid lane, I believe Monkey wins this lane with the Jingu. Monkey just kind of walks at the Kunkka and is able to sustain against the hero and just has a ton of armor to deal with the harassment from the Kunkka. In top lane, I haven't seen a like in this patch. But last patch, he just went Alpha Wolves. He went Pack Leader this time, but generally a very strong hero if you have no way to keep a lockdown. Dire has lots of lockdown, but it's very like narrow target, like Burrow Strike or Macropyre or Boundless Strike. So they have to be pretty precise with landing those stuns to keep the Lycan locked down to be able to deal with them. We live? Should be live, yeah. So mid lane seems to be a bit even on CS. Monkey's not getting as beaten as he was as the Beastmaster versus this mid Kunkka. Top lane Lycan's getting a bit slowed up by the Clinks and Jakiro. Lovely's just gonna walk away though. Just a bit of poking going on. Mid lane, a little bit of death fighting going on between the Monkey and Kunkka. No X to bring him down though. And surprised to see this Sand King playing so far back. I guess there's no creeps nearby, but maxing up that Sandstorm wants to try and destroy waves of that, I imagine. Just not interact with the Beastmaster at all, because the Beastmaster requires like long durations to apply the Wild Axe's debuff stacks, the damage amp stacks. So the faster you can push out lanes, the less time you have to have the Beastmaster just queuing you down. So in terms of what I think the formula for each team is going to be, Witch Doctor's getting a bit low, Sand King's going to come over, but no Burrow Strike. Has an E. Kingmaster's gonna tame the beast, the Witch Doctor, but has that level 2 heal actually, so very difficult here to kill. Sand King now is just gonna walk in, has the Sandstorm, gets escape acted by his Ringmaster. I don't think he needed that. First blood's gonna go to the Witch Doctor, gets that right click in. And yeah, probably didn't need that escape act on the Sand King there. Kind of preventing him from doing anything to help his buddy out. Yeah, formula. So once again, Radiant has a pretty strong pushing draft. It's not as strong as it was last game, but if this Beastmaster can start popping off, the Beastmaster can absolutely push lanes by himself, or do a ton of damage in team fight, just push lanes out hard, take objectives, just get tons of map presence. But in terms of pushing down towers, it's a little bit harder when you're 5v5ing like High Ground, for example, versus a TA. Because the TA can just sit outside the tower range, but the Beastmaster has to walk up with the summons. A lot of fighting going down here in the bottom lane, but both sides break up for now. I imagine they're... Yeah, the Lycan's gonna get very low here, slowed up by the Quinks and the Jakiro. Nice Cookie's gonna keep that Lycan away from death though, as both heroes retreat under tower. Kunkka's actually doing a pretty early level 5 rotation bottom, finds nothing though. Not sure if he was scouted out by that, but both dire heroes backing off there. As Monkey's given the free farm of the lane, and is pushing up the lane to try and deal damage to this tower with the catapult. I think Radiant are very level dependent on this Lycan and getting him to get like the Helm of the Dominator and whatever items he needs to basically just be a threat to kill these backline supports. Or if they want to have him be a rat, just have him like get those ratting items. So probably a bit timing depending on that. And once again, the Beastmaster obviously very dependent on that Ags, as they're gonna combo some spells onto the Lycan. Monkey's gonna actually follow up with the jump in, but gets away from the Lycan. Lycan's gonna get caught by the tail end of that dual breath and go down. Nice rotation by the Monkey there, securing the kills on those two offlaners of Radiant. Very good rotation, so. Dire's mid having the better luck with that first rotation. As minute 7 is coming up, Ringmaster goes back to grab his wisdom. As Kunkka is playing under Dire's tower, X's up the Monkey just to escape. Has to be very cautious with the Jingdom Mastery. Not a lot of heroes can fight the Monkey, who have maxed out Jingdom Mastery in lane. So Radiant's a little bit item dependent. Between the Beastmaster's Ags and the Lycans, probably Helm of the Overlord, I imagine is what they're going to go for. More stacks get created this game in the Dire Triangle. Sand King's going to get those to try and help him accelerate his farm a bit. No denies on the Sand King, interestingly enough. And the only hero that like truly requires items is the carry on Dire with this Clinks. You generally want to get like a Orchid at minimum before you start running around and getting heroes, but once you get that, that's a pretty cheap item. It's like 3,500 gold. You can absolutely start running around with your team and trying to get picks, which is way different than the Gyrocopter they had last game, which, you know, you want minimum like 8,000 net worth before you start rotating. Monkey's going to walk high ground, find a Witch Doctor Kunkka. Cask's going to come out, but it's not be able to bounce onto anything. He's got to get Maledicted up, tries to get the stun. Oh, unfortunate. That would have given him a little bit of heal with the right clicks out to follow, but Monkey's going to go down to just the Kunkka and Witch Doctor. Dire runs away. Kunkka looking for something more, but no X. And only level 1 torrent. They're going to be forced to give up on that. But very big kill there, 500 gold kill on that Monkey King. The Sand King's gonna Burrow Strike the Beastmaster. I think he faked out the Epi there, but decided not to use it as this is a pretty tanky hero. How did it go on the Ringmaster? He's gonna die to Maledict. Nice rotation by the Witch Doctor there, landing that Maledict. And it seems like Monkey's getting a little bit bullied in this lane now, has a lot of resources already versus this Kunkka after just respawning. And Kunkka might start pushing this tower here. Yeah, 9-minute push by this Kunkka, just feeling very strong with this double bracer. Ooh, looks like his courier did die with the phase boots, so not able to get that. Actually, we have rotation by the Ringmaster. Trying to find this Kunkka, goes down to half HP, but the run's gonna give him quite a bit of move speed and damage reduction, so he's just gonna be able to walk that off. And I feel like the plan for Dire is just get ultimates on supports like the Wheel of Wonder and the Macropyre, and then just start rotating with your team and getting kills and just try and buy or get space on the map with that. Just prevent these Radiant heroes from farming, because I think Radiant has the better late game. Shakiro's going to try and catch the Lycan with an Ice Path there. That's going to miss them. Lycan pretty uncontested in this top lane, just having to deal with the Lynx for the time being. He's gonna pop the Shape Shift. They're gonna go in on the Lynx, I believe, but he's gonna escape that for a second. Epi turn around though onto the Lycan, running out very low HP. Sand King also very low HP. As Kunkka now on the side, finds the Sand King with the boat, kills him. Ringmaster is getting very low as well. Monkey died on the side to the Witch Doctor, as yeah, Radiant have all showed up now. 5 heroes just rolling over this Dire team. This Dire team was not able to combo their spells on enough heroes and bring any of them down. They tried to go on the Lycan, but just not enough there. And Radiant are just going to start pushing this. Likely to be the first tier 1 unless Dire want to come in and try and defend that. Seems like nobody's coming though. So Clinks is just going to run mid, try and push that out. As the tier 1 top is the first to fall. Sand King working on Blink Dagger, only 200 gold away from that. Beastmaster, 1500 gold away from Ag, so probably expect to see that by the 15-minute mark. Kunkka doing a bit of harass. He's got his Blade Mill, Phase Boots, Double Bracer, very tanky hero. I believe Kunkka went Drums last game as their second item, so be curious to see if they do that with this slightly less timing specific team. Monkey working on a Maelstrom, so going a little bit of a slower item, wanting to accelerate farm that way. Clinks also going Maelstrom, so Dire picking items that are better for like a slower game. Try and get farm accelerants to get them the items necessary they feel to win team fights on those heroes. And Lycan did get that Helm of the Dominator, soon to be followed by Helm of the Overlord. Smoke play by Dire, they're gonna find the Kunkka, Boundless Strike sets up the initial stun, they're just gonna drop everything on this Kunkka. Wheel of Wonder, Macropyre, Epicenter, literally every single spell to bring down this Kunkka. And so if they're able to do that with like 2 or 3 Radiant heroes, that's a 1 team fight. As it is, that's what they need to try and bring down this Kunkka. Beastmaster is going to take advantage of the lack of team fight, and on the other side, he's going to push out this tower a little bit, but we'll back off. As Lycan's been playing very aggressively in this top lane, just trying to farm up on this top side of the map. As Ro's going to come out onto the Sand King, followed up by a nice Scatter Blast, bringing the Sand King down pretty low, has no Epi. Maledict is going to pretty much guarantee the Sand King's demise. He's going to run away. This might cost the Witch Doctor's life, so he's getting body blocked by a Snapfire. Ooh, he's going to go down now as Dire have rotated over Radiant's here as well. The Monkey now dropping the ring. As Shakira goes down, Monkey trying to focus down this Beastmaster, but getting kissed up by the Snapfire in the back. He's gonna go down. As they're trying to bring down this Kunkka, any hero, they try and make this a little bit more of an even trade. They'll finally bring down that Kunkka. That's a huge kill for Dire. So now it's a 2 for 3. Beastmaster too low to continue in the fight. As the Clinks came over and got a nice kill on that Kunkka. That's going to really help out their game there. Lycan, meanwhile, just very calmly pushing out top, making space. Sand King misses the Burrow Strike. Not sure if he was going for the Lycan, but will respond and counter that push. Clinks doesn't have Orchid queued up just yet. Going to Shard, which will give him Burning Barrage. As it feels like Radiant are just constantly pressuring, no matter like what's going on the map. Oh, losing a team fight? Better push out the other lanes. Oh, winning a team fight? Oh, this hero just better be pushing out the top lane. Like, Radiant both games have just been very good at just keeping the pressure on and forcing Dire to just split up heroes and deal with this constant aggression. So last game we had a basically minute time on the Tormentor bot. I'd be curious to see if Radiant choose to go for that again. Skanking hanging out in the area, maybe expecting that kind of play. We do have a smoke mid on the Jakiro and Kunkka. But Monkey is going to reveal himself on the wave. Beastmaster has the axe, feeling very strong. Gonna see there's a Ringmaster on the side. He's gonna destroy all of those trees with the cast of Wild Axes. Epi now comes in onto the Beastmaster, throwing down so many spells. Macrofire as well, and the Clink's just wailing on him. So this tanky Beastmaster is gonna go down extremely quickly, followed by the Witch Doctor. And Clink's now just, yeah, feels like having way more impact in this game versus the Gyro did at the same minute mark in the last game, with just these two items. Able to burst heroes down with all this CC on the side of Radiant. But like I mentioned earlier, Radiant, oh yeah, losing a team fight, let's push mid. Just very good impression. Lycan top, pushing down that top tower as well. They're gonna dust mid, trying to find the Sand King, but unable to connect the X. So he's gonna be able to get out of there. Clinks though, he's going to be pushing down bottom. Going to be a TP in by the Kunkka. A little bit late though to save the tower. He's just going to hit the creeps. Dire don't seem too interested in punishing this lone Kunkka. Lycan's just been up here all alone. His top CS, 125 at 16 minutes. It's finished up Helm of the Overlord. Working towards AC now. This Lycan feels like a ticking time bomb. They don't have a hard counter for the hero, other than like a Clinks exploding him. They're going to Sand King initiate on the Snapfire, who's just a little bit too forward, trying to get a last hit or two, and that's going to be a very easy kill. Transition into a tower push. Witch Doctor on the side though, 20 seconds on Death Lord, so likely not going to be a fight here with both supports not really able to contribute much. The Clink's doing a lot of damage to these towers, but meanwhile, Kunkka bottom lane, pushing out the bottom tower. Just so much aggression coming out. I gotta get my Steam Deck here, it's a low battery. So I won't be able to see chat for the rest of the game, but that's fine. Big stack now getting exploded by the Clinks there, along with the Stinger. Finding that Caustic Fin now. And yeah, Clinks feels like the win condition almost for Dire. Like once he gets this BKB, he's going to be able to just have so much presence in team fights. Like there's so much disable on the side of Dire. They're just having that Clinks able to focus down priority heroes that they drop the stuns on is going to be so much better than the Gyrocopter that they had last game. Gonna be a smoke out by Dire. Tormentor was taken. Oh, I missed it. Went on the Snapfire. This Radiant team, they're always doing something. Just they're always active on the map, always making a play. Snapfire is going to give the heal cookie, doing a little bit extra damage on the jump. So pretty good pickup on a support Snapfire. As Clinks is going to be the front runner. Smoke breaks. sees the Lycan creeps, but that's going to reveal. They're just going to stun up the creep, go for that 250 gold bounty. Lycan's going to try and turn this around to a fight, though. Nice Will of Wonder prevents his escape. Those Beastmaster flanks in the back. Oh my goodness, look at the clump they're on Dire. Boat just shredded them. As they got caught in the choke point and suffered for it. 5-man wipe between the boat. They were just caught between the boat and the Beastmaster there. Wow. That was over quickly. 4,300 gold swing, 5,500 XP swing, and yeah, Radiant's gonna take advantage of that and just take this tier 2 tower. The one problem of having this much team fight on long cooldown is that you can't afford to put it on only one hero. Wheel of Wonder has to go on like 2 heroes. Epi has to go on 2 heroes, right? They spent so many resources at the start of the fight to kill that creep, which is usually a good idea because it's worth so much gold, but Radiant was around nearby and just took advantage of the lack of spells at that point because they're all on cooldown. And punished Dire quite severely for that, so Radiant keeping up the momentum now, pushing mid tier 2. As Lycan's gonna go bottom and deal with that. No contest from Dire, still down their massive spells. Jakira's gonna come over, throw an ice path on the Beastmaster, but it's gonna amount to nothing. As Dire now on the back foot, after it felt like they had a little bit of momentum. Amplify damage picked up by the Beastmaster. Roshan is available. It's walking bottom, so that's not an objective they can take immediately. Dire just playing in front of their base. Look at their vision right now. They only see the Lycan bottom, so they're not really sure where the enemy is. Radiant, meanwhile, have no idea. They have a ward up here, but don't see the team, so a hero right here could be caught out. They're going to scan the Roche pit, so they know a hero's in there as they poise around the Roche pit. Kunkka's going to be seen on the side. He's probably going to be the target as Sand King's going to initiate on him. They're going to drop all their spells once again on a singular hero. Kunkka's just tanking it up, though. Will of Wonder comes out as well. Both keeps this monkey in the air. He's unable to drop the circle for the time being, but Beastmaster finds the Clinks on the side, kills that hero. Without the Clinks, there's just no team fight. As the Sand King gets maledicted, death warded up. He's running for his life now. He has escaped back, keeps him alive for a second longer, but Maledict is going to bring that hero down. Ringmaster soon to follow. Jakiro is the only one to get out. Kunkka did finally go down in that, though. So they do get a pick, but you can't afford to put these big team fight ults onto a singular hero and try and bring them down. Like, you have to get Radiant to clump somehow. If that means just baiting the Clinks for a roar or something like that, that's what you got to do. But, yeah, 2 fights in a row now, just not able to find the connections they need on these big team fight ults, and they're not going to have these team fight ults if Radiant choose to push high ground. But looks like Radiant are playing a little bit more conservatively. They're going to go for Roche Pit. Wait on their team fight ults, Bolt and Roar. And the ultimates on the supports are quite impactful as well, so got to pick up the Sages, it's not going to be contested. And Dire just scrambling to get these lanes pushed out by themselves, a little bit of space, a little bit of time. And that rush is going to go down very quickly between the Lycan and the Beastmaster. I'm just trying to pull up the stream on my phone so I can keep an eye on the chat in case something's going bad, but Radiant have split up a little bit. Have the Aegis, they put it on the Beastmaster, relying on his AoE damage to do the heavy lifting in fights. Lycan's probably feeling pretty unkillable as well. They tried to go on him a couple of times, not able to bring him down. And Lycan is the transformation hero, so you generally don't want to put Aegises on transformation heroes if you can afford to. But Radiant are setting up kind of a soft contain, although you might find the Lycan here. Sand King's going to come in, channels the Epi, trying to do a ton of damage here, but Lycan just has the BKB. He's just going to turn around on this Sand King. Has the vision from a dust that he popped, but whole of Dire team is here now as Lycan has to run away for the range of his BKB. Mortimer's Kisses is going to try and push his Dire team back, as it seems like Radiant are trying to get a fight here. Kunkka and Beastmaster are going to isolate the Clinks though. Miss the Torrent combo, but get him with the boat, and now Clink's dead. Dire are forced to run back into base. Clinks does have the buyback though. Can use it. No Epi though. Beast just blinks in. BKB's running at his heroes with the axe. He's doing so much AoE damage. The hero goes down, followed swiftly by the monkey. These heroes don't have any kind of spells to try and stop this as Radiant are just rolling all over them. Sand King barely gets out with a sliver of health. No blink on the Kunkka. There is one on the Beastmaster though. One axe. Ooh. It's gonna catch him with the X. No mana for Torrent though. And tries to get up the Tidebringer. Misses though. Clinks turn around onto the Burrow Strike. Catches that Kunkka. As bottom lane Lycan Snapfire, like, you know, we're not chasing that guy. Buildings are way more important than kills. And Lycan pushing on this tower. Heroes are pretty low onto Radiant. Sand King's gonna try and find something. Blinks in. Gets the nice pick up on the Beastmaster Aegis. Lycan very low, but this Beastmaster's gonna respawn. He's gonna blink out of there. Lycan able to TP out. As now Dire heroes are now swarming, trying to find a pick, trying to get some of these running away heroes. The Beastmaster is the prize, and Clinks is going to run for it. Monkey is going top though to try and find a Snapfire, as Clinks is left alone to try and kill this Beastmaster. He's just walking away, soon to blink away. And the Monkey does find that Snapfire, so they get something out of that. They find a support. But Lycan and Beastmaster were able to get out of there. And those were the big kills that Dire really wanted to get there. There was a... Was there a buyback? Yeah, there was a buyback by Clinks for that, so... They didn't lose any buildings. They lost the buyback. Lost a couple heroes, but... Could have been far worse. 13,000 gold lead now for Radiant. Swap over to net worth. You can see all of Radiant's cores are pulling away from their Dire counterparts. Beastmaster at the top. Taking a look at items, Beastmaster working towards... Looks like Shiva's. Kunkka went with Pipe this game instead of the drums he did from last game. Not sure what he's going for next. Maybe an Aghanims. Lycan has the BKB. One BKB before AC actually, so it looks like they're going for the AC next. Sand King. Shiva as well. Clinks. Fresh BKB on the Clinks, working towards Daedalus. And Monkey going for that BKB. It's very important that this Clinks doesn't get roared at the start of the fights. He is the kill condition, as Kunkka's gonna whiff a Torrent combo once again on him. He's gonna be able to walk away from that. Beastmaster was in the area, so if he did land that, that likely could have been a kill. Might have something start here as Beastmaster walks aggressively into Dire's triangle. I'd got to go on the Snapfire. Sand King Burrow strikes in, followed up by the Monkey. Jump in, they're going to burn down that Snapfire. As Beastmaster and Witch Doctor try to find this Jakiro. He's going to buy himself a little bit of time with the Ice Path, but he's going to go down. Clinks on the side, kind of isolate this Witch Doctor, bring him down. Kunkka's doing his best to try and keep the Clinks occupied, though, as we have an Epicenter on the Beastmaster. He's going to pop that BKB. As Jakiro goes down, buys back, TPing in 2 Sports Dead on the side of Radiant. As now Clinks is focusing the Beastmaster, no BKB on him now. Sand King super low in the back. Beastmaster goes down. Jakiro is going to die back as the Lycan finds him. Clinks now running for his life, is dusted, won't be able to get away from this Lycan unless his team helps support him, but Lycan's going to pop that BKB, doing his best to try and find his Clinks, but Clinks now has the HP advantage as Lycan is forced to run away. Kunkka on the side, not really able to assist as he's low mana. Lycan's going to be able to get out of there. So dieback Jakiro, Beastmaster does die. Overall, very significant win for Dire there. Tons of gold. But it doesn't look like they're able to transition it into a push, as they're pretty low resources and have to go back to base. Dire needs more team fights like that. They need to keep the Clinks from getting jumped, and they need like Radiant to overextend chasing a hero and just try and pick them off one by one. It's that or get Radiant plumped up in a hole and just dump all their spells on them, but at this point, The Beastmaster has BKB, the Lycan has BKB, so it's a little bit harder to rely on that to kill these heroes. Lycan did go Gem to try and deal with this Clink, so that pretty explicitly shows what Lovely thinks their role is in this game, and that's to get on top of the Clinks and prevent them from doing anything. Clink's working towards Daedalus, supports fight over creeps in the mid lane. Radiant are just hanging out top, probably trying to find a way in. If you look at Vision, they're kind of lacking it. They don't really have that much information on where Dire is. And Dire, meanwhile, don't really have information either. Clinks and Sand King are bottom. So Dire's a little bit split up right now. Probably don't want to start a fight without their Sand King. As Radiant smoke up, looking for something, but not going to find anything. Dire doing a pretty good job of just hanging out in their base, farming safely, not allowing Radiant to get a pick, which they can transition into a high ground push.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A big problem with Radiant's draft is they don't have a true carry. The closest thing they have is Lycan, who's not really going the traditional carry build, more going for the Zoo build. I guess he is going like AC BKB, so could easily transition to that. But Lycan by itself is not the greatest right clicker. Monkey and Clinks are much harder carries than the Lycan is. So the longer this game goes and the more gold is distributed to these heroes, the more it's going to favor Dire, I feel, because like Clinks eventually is going to get stuff like Lincolns or ways to deal with the Roar. And if the Clinks is able to just focus down heroes in fights, he's going to be able to explode these heroes on the side of Radiant. Monkey as well is just going to become very tanky. It's going for Abyssal Blade, so trying to get some lockdown to deal with these heroes when they BKB. And looks like Radiant are setting up the Tormentor. There is no sentry on the ground. Clinks is nearby, pushes the wave. Yeah, I think he killed the wave, but yeah, Radiant are going to be pushing or taking the Tormentor. It's going to go on the Kunkka, which is Tidal Wave. That is a huge pickup. On the side of Radiant. Lycan showing mid. Prince is going to pop arrows. Push that wave out. Both sides playing pretty defensively, I'd say. Radiant still enjoy quite a nice advantage on their side. It looks like the Kunkka did both. I think, yeah, was that top when they took the Tormentor? Yeah, it was. Sand King's gonna be seen up top. Beastmaster in the area. They don't want to jump on him. Monkey mid, pinging out the Lycan. Teams are playing very defensively here. It's just a couple heroes showing lanes. Push out a wave or two, then back. Neither team really taking advantage of it. Ooh, Sand King may have been a jump opportunity there, but he's able to get away from the Beastmaster. Both sides waiting for the other team to make a mistake. Could also just be waiting for Roshan. Witch Doctor does scout it out, so the Rosh is available, but Snapfire is going to be found by the Burrow Strike and picked very quickly. So no Snapfire. Radiant playing around Rosh. They can take it very quickly with the Beastmaster Lycan, but Dire's on their way. They're probably smelling the fact that Radiant want this Roshan. They're going to be coming over, trying to find something. And Dire will start it. This could be a pretty big team fight here. Boat is up. Looking at vision here, yeah, looks like Radiant are aware of what's going on. Dire not really able to see the high ground though, as Dire are gonna back out of there. Creeps are pushing in. I thought I just heard a BKB, but I don't think I did. Sand King forced to go back to base to deal with this dragon pushing in the way. We have a Blink Roar by the Beastmaster onto the monkey. Pop him extremely quickly. No buyback onto him. Nice pickup by Radiant there. That's gonna all but guarantee this Roshan, as I don't expect Dire to come in and try and defend this now with the monkey dead. And that one kill may have just cracked this game open, as Banner and Aegis go to the Radiant. Aegis picked up by the Beastmaster once again. Banner left in the pit, which Doctor's going to grab that. Dire now playing cautiously, wanting to do that high ground defense. As Beastmaster picks up an amplified damage rune, is going to walk down mid. It's going to be pretty difficult to deal with this push with the monkey having bought out components for their basher and not having buyback. Doing a ton of damage to this tier 3 tower before they pop the fort. Banner's going to be dropped to protect this creep wave from the fortification. Beastmaster gets used up. That's going to purge off the remainder of that 80 rune, but tower's going to fall soon after. Radiant through the X onto the Clinks, has the BKB, gets escaped act, which doesn't really help him that much. As we have a Blink Roar in on the Sand King, trying to burst him down. This could be a huge pickup Radiant area, but get it, but he's able to burrow strike out as Monkey King BKBs and drops the ring onto everybody. It's like a nice Wheel of Wonder. Finds two heroes on the side of Radiant. Witch Doctor falls. Sand King gets chased down by the Lycan and killed as well. Kunkka getting super low, being chased by the Clinks. Will go down to the Clinks as this Lycan is just playing havoc into the Dire backline. Now Dire switch their attention to try and bring this Kunkka down. Aegis pops on the Beastmaster, dying to tertiary damage there as Lycan getting so low with that gem is going to be able to run away. Buyback from the Jakiro and the Sand King. They're going to find more as they burrow strike the Snapfire. Able to pop her extremely quickly, but Lycan, Beastmaster getting away once again. Those are the main two heroes you need to bring down. They're worth so much money, so did win that fight, but it cost them 2 buybacks for that. 2,500 gold, 1,700 gold. Advantage going to Greifers Without Borders, as we have a pause in DC by the Witch Doctor. Lost connection to remote host, crash, reconnected. Looks like we're going to be on pause here in a second. So Dire did a very good job of kiting out the BKBs and exploiting those two heroes with that Monkey King ultimate and Ringmaster ultimate. I think it was the Kunkka and the Witch Doctor that got taunted by that. So just able to get 2 heroes with team fight ults. It's just massive to winning a team fight. And just kiting out the BKBs just meant that they had a very good opportunity to win that fight, which they did. Did lose the tier 3 tower for it though, but the longer the game goes, the higher their chances of winning, as Monkey's going to be jumping forward aggressively, trying to find something. Team's not especially close by though, so he's going to retreat. Beastmaster hovering 5,000 gold, looking to buy Refresher. Has the Shivas. Kunkka is going to throw an X on the Clinks. 2 seconds to BKB. Boat's going to come out. BKB is going to come off just at the right time as we have a turnaround by the Blinksbrick Sand King. No epi, but Clinks is just running away with BKB. Dies to the like. No, he blinks away actually. Just barely surviving and kiting as the Kunkka is getting pretty low to the hero. Macro, 3-man macro onto these 2 Radiant heroes is huge. Kunkka goes down. Witch Doctor survives a little bit long in the Death Ward, or the whatever this chart is called, but 3 heroes dead now on the side of Dire as Beastmaster and Lycan show up, just demolishing these Dire cores once their BKBs are done. And Jakira's getting chased down. Have a blink by the Beastmaster pretty soon, was unable to catch him on the dual breath. And Jakira just gonna get chased down, rooted up by the birds. Gem's gonna come into play, and he's gonna die. That's gonna be a 2 for 5. Imagine Beastmaster, yeah. Beastmaster Lycan, along with Kunkka doing the majority of the damage in that fight. Just Beastmaster coming in with BKB, dealing so much damage to that Ags. Lycan's gonna run mid, take this Rax. Beastmaster's gonna go top and take these Rax. Only one buyback on the side of Dire. It's the Ringmaster who has the shortest respawn timer. And this is gonna be mega creeps. No recourse for Dire here to prevent this. And they probably can't even prevent the tier 4 push as we look at... Sorry about that. As we look at buyback status, am I blind? Or there we go. On the side of Dire, 2 heroes don't have it, 2 heroes don't have the gold for it. And yeah, these cores are not going to give him an opportunity to respawn as Word comes out onto the Monkey King. He's going to get escaped acted. He's going to try... Ooh! A little bit of flare there at the end as the BKBs tried to turn around, but Costco, Hotdog are going to win game 2 with a 25,000 gold lead, winning the fights, punishing the lack of buybacks on the side of Dire. It felt like Radiant were pretty in control that whole game. Clinks did come online a lot earlier than Gyro, and Dire did have that advantage as opposed to the kind of underfarmed Gyro hit that they had last game. And we're able to win some fights off of that, but just that one kill on the Monkey in the triangle outside Roche Pit during that standoff just led to one Rax falling, and then top lane going onto the Clinks, having to defensively use his BKB just to run away, giving time for the Beastmaster to come in and finish him off, just leading to that lost fight, was just too much for Dire to handle. Anyway, good series, short series. Thank you all for watching. This has been PDC Season 8 between Costco, Hotdog, and Greifers Without Borders. I've been Munchla / Anthony. Thank you for watching, and see you all next time.